What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Wager Zone podcast, and we are back for another interview with another very great fighter in the MMA scene right now. It's LFA champion Richie El Machete Miranda. Almost said
And
it wrong there. Yeah, almost said the wrong name, Miranda.
all
And
good.
yeah, guys, really appreciate him coming out here. I'm a big fan of his. If you guys have not watched him yet, he just fought in LFA recently in a 5 round war. That was a great fight. He showed he has the cardio. He shows he has the wrestling. He shows every single fight. He just shows he's an all-around mixed martial artist. So if you guys have not checked Richie Miranda out yet, go check him out. I believe he will be in the UFC soon. I believe the UFC should be calling this man soon.
Yep.
And he's a all-around great fighter. So welcome to the show, Richie.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Hell of an intro. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me as well.
Yeah, man. I honestly have about like 12 questions. I want some people to, if they don't know about you, I would like them to maybe look into your background a little bit, how you grew into the sport, maybe some things
Yeah.
you do outside the sport. So my first question would be like, so you grew up in Santa Ana. You
Yeah.
wrestled at, I want to say it's pronounced Segerstrom High, if I said
Yeah,
that
yeah.
right. So you wrestled at Segerstrom High. How did those early years shape you into being like becoming a fighter?
Yeah, so yeah, I grew up watching boxing as a kid, but didn't get into martial arts or at least training in some kind of martial arts till I got to high school. And
Mhm.
started at 14. So yeah, I mean in college I did, in high school I did all right, but yeah, it was just the that first match I had in the preseason that, got me addicted to winning. And even though I got smoked the next two matches, but just having that feeling of getting my hand raised, I like that. And then went on to wrestle in college, Santa Ana College, All American twice there. And then I ended up going to the University of Nebraska Kearney, wrestled 2 years there, and then that's where I started my mixed martial arts career.
Oh man, really? Yeah, really cool. That was leading into my second question. Like you said,
Yeah,
you went to college, you wrestled. Like you said, you were a two-time All-American wrestler at Santa Ana College. Then you went to, I think it's what you say, University of Nebraska Kearney. And
yeah.
pronounce it right. So, how did the college wrestling experience? How did you like that? Like, was it a big experience for you? Did it help you shape you more of being a fighter? Like, when time you were in college, did you know you wanted to be a fighter at that time?
No, not at all. It didn't come till after the end of my career. Um, but yeah, at Santa Ana College, I had a great coach named Vince Silva, and he instilled confidence in me and just conviction, and that carried on to going to UNK. And
Mhm.
yeah, UNK, I got to wrestle, a lot of high level schools, big tournaments, so that was cool. And then once my eligibility was done, I still wanted to keep competing, and I always watch UFC and MMA fights on TV and YouTube. So, dabbled in to MMA and started training, and 4 months later, had my first amateur fight.
Oh man, yeah, that's a really good experience. Seems like that
Yeah,
after college, you were kind of just like, yep, this is kind of where I want to be at that this scene.
yeah,
So like now getting into like more of your college, if people do not know, at UNK, you actually earned your degree in criminal justice and political science. So
yeah.
what did your like academics background help you with the man you are today?
My mom said if you want to fight, you got to finish school. So,
Hmm.
had to get that done.
Yeah.
I was still I started fighting and finishing up school, but yeah, it kept me disciplined, and, I was hitting the books, and at night, I was sparring and hitting people and hitting the bags.
Oh yeah, so yeah, like you have to listen to what your mom say most of the time. Your mom says, "Hey, you want to,"
Yeah,
like you said, you have to finish school. I feel that
exactly.
100%. So, so you're like right now, I just, from my understanding, you began training under Richard Barajas at Kearney and and then went to combat sports, and then
Yeah,
you went
Chronic Combat Sports.
yeah, so
Mhm.
combat sports, and then if I'm right, you moved to train with Eric Paulson and Ben Jones at CSW. And
Yeah.
now, are you with Bloodline MMA over there with
With Cub.
Cub Swanson? Yes.
Yeah. So I joined them. It's been about a year now, a year and a half. So it's been great. All my past coaches were cool, and we still talk. I still try to go train with them. But yeah, now I'm currently training with the Bloodline team under Cub Swanson. Yep.
How does that feel? Like, how did that change help you a lot? Like, I know that they have a lot of good fighters out on Bloodline MMA. If you guys don't know about
Yeah.
Bloodline MMA, go check it out. They have a lot of great fighters coming out of there. So, how does it feel training under a legend in Cub Swanson?
It feels great, man. It's just his experience alone. What what I mean, he has like over 20 fights in the
Mhm.
UFC and been in the UFC for more than 20 years or about 20 years. But yeah, when I was training with him before while I was still at my other gym, and I just knew that at the level that I wanted to be, I had to go, train with other fighters, and that's when I decided to move, and it's been great, man. I mean, I've had what 3 fight of the night bonuses since I've
Mhm.
been with Bloodline, and I've gotten finishes again, and I've been taking out tough people and big names.
Yeah, so just like you, perfect leading for you saying that because I'm about to get into, I would say your record. Like your record is packed with finishes. You got KOs, you got
Yeah.
submissions, you got decision victories. So if you had to go through your MMA career, if you had
hmm
to pick one of those fights, which one was probably your most satisfying win out of all those?
Uh, I mean, now, I mean, the first one for the belt, but I always liked my first LFA fight too. I was kind of down on the scorecards.
Hmm.
I almost finished him in the second, and then I was able to get a beautiful guillotine fucking in the third round. So I would
Yeah.
say my fourth fight, and my not this past fight, but the one with Richie Lewis.
Yeah, with Richie Lewis. Yeah, that was. I remember watching that fight. A lot of you were a giant underdog in that fight against
Yeah.
Richie Lewis, and I personally, on my breakdown, I break down LFA events. I go in there and give my predictions on LFA events.
Okay.
I think Richie Miranda gonna win this fight. I think some
Hell
people
yeah.
to Jimmy kind of like, no, I don't know. Richie Lewis is a great wrestler, and I was like, you guys need to watch this Richie Miranda because
Yeah.
this guy has the cardio. Like this guy can go all 5 rounds,
Yeah.
and he loves a war. Like you do not back down from a war. So that's why I
Yeah.
became a big fan of you. So like
Thank you.
just this past LFA event, you defended your LFA title against a really good fighter, and I think I want to say his name right, Ili Barzilai. I think if I said his name right, it was a very good fight. How did you feel going into that fight? Did you get any surprises, or is it kind of went the same way you kind of thought it would be going into training camp?
Could you repeat that again? Sorry, you kind of froze a little bit.
Oh, so this past weekend you fought at the LFA, defending your title against a really good fighter in Ili Barzilai,
Yeah.
and so my question was, did he surprise you with anything, or was it kind of the way you saw the fight going in your training camp leading into the fight?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think what surprised me was the first round, second round kind of. I mean, he was running away, and I was just like, dude, this guy mainly he comes forward, but I knew my pressure was gonna throw him off. And then yeah, I just had to adjust to him running away and just trying to stick and move. But once he was down to throw down in the middle or at least throw back and forth. I was able to find my openings. And, once he overthrew, I was going to change levels and take him down, which is
Hmm.
when I was doing my best, and the most damage. I mean, too bad it was so hot and sweaty in there. The couple of times I tried to grab him, we would slip off, and a couple of times I was on top, I slipped off. But yeah, it was a fun fight. Respect to him, and uh, yeah, dude, it brought out the best of me, and I had to dig deep and get it done.
Yeah, I agree. Like personally, when I scored the fight, I was watching it live. I kind of scored it. I scored it 4-1 for you. I thought
Yeah,
you won 4 of the rounds and he won one of the round. And I see a lot of people thought it was closer, but personally, in my opinion, I thought you had a great all-around fight. Like, yes, it was a dog fight. It was close. Rounds were close there, but I personally thought
yeah,
you won 4 of those rounds. So I thought you had a great fight.
yeah. Thank you. No, I think for sure he won the last round. Even though
Yeah.
he took me down, but I was getting up. But yeah, he did more work in the fifth round. Yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly how I had it. You won the first 4 rounds, and I think I gave the last round to him. But it seems like because you were just putting so much work in that whole entire time, and
yeah,
like you said, your pressure. That's kind of like your main weapon is like you have
yeah,
the wrestling, you have the striking, but it's mainly like that pressure, keep coming forward, always in the face. So that's the type of
yeah,
player I like about you. That's really perfect. So
yeah. Anywhere I can land a strike, bro, or I can elbow you or punch you, I'm gonna do it.
yeah, so now I want to. People don't know you have a. I think it's 12-1. Am I correct? 12-1
Yeah,
record.
yeah.
So you have.
12-1.
So I want to get into that one loss you did have. You had a split decision loss to Keegan Gentrich in 2023. That must have like been like very tough for you. Like so, the best way I want to ask this question is like, what did you learn from that loss? Did you think you really lost that fight? If you're going back and watching tape after the fight, and
Yeah.
like, how did that feel you to climb back up and have this long streak afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it could have gone either way, depending on how the judges, what kind of judges you get. Some
Hmm.
people favor more striking, some people favor more grappling. I feel like I did most of the damage in that fight, but I did learn from it, and I learned that, I can't over pressure, I can't over grapple, and when I'm on bottom, I'm losing. So that means I gotta get up. He had a really he was long and lengthy, so he had a good body triangle. So he
Hmm.
was able to hold me down majority of the first round. Second round, I was on top. I was doing good, but he was able to end on top, and hold me down. So at the third round, even though I was coming pressure forward, had opportunities to finish. I try to go for submissions opposed to strike, and then knocked his mouthpiece out. We got into a crazy reverse triangle and still hitting him, but I did definitely learn from it. And in this sport you don't get to the top without losing. So
Hmm.
it was a great lesson for me.
Yeah, like you said, it's very rare in MMA anybody goes undefeated. So
Yeah.
losses are where people learn a lot from their losses. So I agree with you. You
Mhm.
don't get to where you want to be without actually losing first. So I really respect that a lot. So like getting back into that, so you rebounded with a whole bunch of wins now. You're
Yeah.
LFA champion. You just defended your title in a great fight. So what do you think? Is the UFC going to be calling soon?
I hope so, bro. My cup's been ready. I've been busting it out
Yeah.
for a couple fights already. So, yeah, man. I think I mean, I've had 10 fights in LFA. Biggest feeders program to the UFC. So,
Mhm.
and usually you win that belt the first time you get called up. And now I won it, defended it. So, I mean, I hope so. I hope Uncle Dana calls.
Yeah, I believe he should be calling your number because, like I said, you're an all-around great fighter. You don't just strike,
Yeah,
you wrestle. You have the cardio to go all 5 rounds. You proved it twice now that you have the cardio to
yeah.
go all 5 rounds. So that I really do feel like he should be calling. So my guess, my next three questions would be kind of more like the personal side, more side that people do not see in the cage, people that want to know the real Richie Miranda. So like
Yeah.
outside. Oh, excuse me. Outside the gym, what's something fans might not know about Richie Miranda that is something that's big in your life that no one really knows about you?
Uh, I mean, I guess I would say I'm a big foodie,
Yeah.
big foodie. But I mean, yeah, I like to hang around, ride motorcycles, snowboard, hang
Mhm.
out with family, friends, girlfriend, pretty much.
Yeah, so just basically like having fun, eating some food, and hang out with some family. So that's like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
what
yeah,
Richie Miranda does
exactly.
outside the
Yeah.
gym. And
Hmm.
so, how do you mentally reset, like between fight camps? Like when you're not in fight camp and everything is
Yeah.
the same exact answer for, like you said, family, food, and stuff like that. But how would you say you reset, like when you're not in when you're not in fight camp?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty much in the gym year round, but during fight camp, I'm just in the killer mode, killer mentality. But off, I'm just trying to evolve, work new techniques, and just add to my arsenal. But yeah, dude, that's pretty much it. Keep studying film and just honing down and slow things down a little bit, but stay in the gym. And then once I do get a fight or a name, then we ramp it up.
Okay, yeah. So it seems like you just want to just keep learning. That's how you
Yeah,
said just keep learning, getting to the new
exactly.
spot. So it's
Yeah,
really really good. And so as a champ now, and one of the alums from Santa Ana, one of the because people don't know Santa Ana has a lot of good fighters. They have especially like
yeah,
The Ontario, Santa Ana, Fullerton area. They have a lot of good
yeah.
fighters, and you're one of the alums now. So what message would you have extending to any of those fighters from the area that like what's like a generation of fighters to from your hometown to what would you say to them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Gil Melendez. He was one of the first ones, and now currently my teammate Danny Silva, he's in there, so yeah, I mean, I appreciate them, and I can't wait to represent Santa Ana as well. And we already got one guy from Santa Ana UFC.
Hmm.
I get in there, that makes us two of us, one at
Yeah.
45s and one at 55. So yeah, just trying to be represent that Santanero pride for sure.
Cool, man. Yeah, really cool. Like I said, like, you're one being an LFA champion now. Like you said, going for that second time or the second person being inside the UFC from Santa
Yeah.
Ana. So I bet it's a kind of like a big, I was not say a chip on your shoulder, but more of like a big honor to on your
Yeah,
shoulder that's saying that you
no, yeah,
beat
for
Santa
sure.
Ana.
Yeah, no, I mean, me and Danny live a couple blocks away, so that'd be cool, just two
Yeah.
kids from Santa Ana fucking making it to the big stage. Yep.
Yep. So, like, right before I let you go, just if there's any fight fans out there that don't know about you yet, they have not, which if they're unless they are not like diehard MMA fans like I am, you should know
Yeah.
who Richie Miranda is. But if there's any fighters that I mean, some fans that don't know who you are, what would you say about them? What fights would you say they should go and watch, or if you don't have a fight that you say they should watch, what should they be looking out for?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to follow me, I'm at El Machete, El_Machete 714. My style is Machete style is about coming forward, pressure, getting your face. I'm gonna chop you down and then I'm gonna finish you. If you like violence, my fights are there to watch. If go back and watch. My last two fights there were great. I'd say my last four fights were great, and I mean,
Hmm.
pretty much all of them. Even I go back and watch them here and there
Yeah.
before fight weekend. It pumps me up. So, I'm always here. To put on for la raza, and just another Santanero Orange County boy. Try to make it there in the UFC. Yep.
Yep, and honestly, I do believe you will be making to the UFC with especially how you've proven how your skill set is. And
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, I'm a huge fan. I will be keeping up with you. And that's all the questions I have for you, man. Like I said, I really
Thank you.
appreciate you doing this interview with me. I'm gonna be looking out for you for your next fight. If it's in the Contender Series, if it's in the UFC,
Yeah.
if it's in
Yeah.
even if it's in the LFA again, I will be there
Yeah.
watching. So, like I said,
Thank you.
appreciate you doing this. And yeah, guys, that is it for the interview. El Machete Miranda out
Yes,
here,
sir.
LFA champion, gonna be in the UFC soon. I can guarantee you
Yep.
he's gonna be in the UFC soon, especially with him training out of Bloodline MMA. I appreciate him doing this interview with me. Like he said, go check out his Instagram, go check his previous fights out. This guy is a fighter, one of the best prospects in
Yeah.
MMA right now, making his way up. And yeah, man, like I said, I really appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, of course, brother. Thank you so much for having me.